Hey friends, today we're doing 335 and 336 and then a little bit of homework and remembering 7-2. So, and we won't be doing all of the pages, guys. I'll be changing things just slightly. Okay, just want to make sure that I touch on these different things that they're talking about today. All right, so we have looked at fraction bars and number lines before. Okay, let's read our directions up here. It says the number line shows the fourths between 0 and 1. Okay, I'm right here, guys. Discuss how the number line is like and unlike the fraction bar above it. Okay, so this is the fraction bar right here. Okay, and we've seen those before. So they've got the 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. Okay, and they're showing the 4 parts. We always know that the bottom number of the fraction is the total parts. And so if I wanted to show 1/4, that would be the first section, and they've got them all separated. Okay, now what's different on the second one down here, okay, which is the number line, notice that they're counting, but they're actually starting at 0 out of 4, okay, at the very beginning, and then they're putting 1/4. They've got it divided just slightly differently than up above. Okay, they're not doing, it's not a bar, it's a number line. So they're counting 1 out of 4, 2 out of 4, but notice they're doing it kind of at the end up here. Okay, so that's 2 out of 4 because 2 sections are up there. Okay, and then 3 out of 4, and then 4 out of 4. So they mean the same thing, but it's a different way to show it. Okay, just be aware of that. Now, down below, these number lines are divided to show different fractions. Okay, so they've already written in the fractions for you. Okay, but you can tell that they did it differently. In the first one, they were doing it by halves. So they went 0, then they went 1/2, then they went up to 1, and then 1.5, and then 2, and then 2.5. Okay. And then on the next number line, they're dividing it into fourths. So they're counting smaller pieces, aren't they? Okay, they did 1 out of 4, then 2 out of 4, then 3 out of 4. And then on the last number line, they're doing it by eighths. So they're counting by eighths. So they have little dashes here, and then you get to 4 out of 8, and then it gets to 8 out of 8, and they keep going. Okay? So you're going to need to look up at these 3 right here to answer the questions. Okay, we're crossing this off, we're going to cross 2 of these off for right now. Okay, because I think you'll get the hang of those. All right, so let's look at number 3. We're going to use our number line. So I have 10 out of 4, and I have 24 out of 8. So I'm going to go up, and I'm going to look for 10 out of 4. Find it up there. Okay, I see it right here, 10 out of 4. And then I'm going to find 24 out of 8. Okay, that's right here. All right, so if I'm looking at that, which one is bigger? Which one is taking up more space on the number line? Okay, I can see that 24 over 8 is bigger, isn't it? So I would draw my sign this way. Okay, so I want you to do that last one. Find those up on the chart and see which one is bigger. All right, now when you get down to the bottom section, this is kind of fun. You are going to write the fraction. Okay, I'm going to cross out or mixed number, and we're just going to do the fraction for now. Okay, just so that it's not confusing. All right, so you have to look for the points. This is point A. Look up here. You have to look kind of hard. Here's point A. Notice that there's nothing written above it because you need to figure out what goes there. So you're going to want to look before and go, well, wait, it's 7 over 2, then 8 over 2, then what would go there? I know 10 over 2 is over here, so what goes in between 8 over 2 and 10 over 2? Did you say 9 over 2? Yes. And then you would come down and you would write that on the line. Okay, remember you can do your fraction line slanted or straight. So you're going to find all the points and then write the fraction. Okay, And when you're looking up here, the fractions are usually on top, the top line. The mixed numbers are on the bottom, but we're just going to stick with the fractions. So you're going to be looking at the top of the number lines. So now I go to B. I have to find B. He's right here. Look up at I've got 3 out of 4, then 4 out of 4. Figure out what B would be. That's kind of fun. So finish those up and meet me on page 336. All right, guys. So we are going to do a few on this page. All right. So we are looking at number lines again, but this time they're divided into thirds and sixths. So it says, tell how many equal parts are between 0 and 1. Then write the fraction above the equal parts. So I'm only paying attention to between 0 and 1. Okay, that's all. Between 0 and 1. And then they want us to tell how many parts are between there. Okay, so if I look between 0 and 1, how many sections? You're not counting lines, you're counting sections. So I have one section here, one section here, and one section here. So how many parts are there between 0 and 1? I counted 3, so I put 3 right here. Then they want you to label them, okay? So I know that the first one here is 0 out of 3, right? 0 over 3. I know this guy right here is 1 over 3. And I know this one here is, I'm just going to count, 2 over 3. And then if I go to 1, it would be 3 out of 3. Okay? So you're going to count the parts and then label only between 0 and 1 though. Okay? So let's look at number 7. Notice that it's divided into more parts, isn't it? Remember, we're focusing on between 0 and 1. I want you to count the spaces that are in there. Count the spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the number that I write up here. Okay. And now they want you to label just like we did up above. So we know this first one is 0 out of 6. Okay, we know the next one is going to be 1 over 6. Got to write tiny. Then 2 over 6, and just keep going all the way until you get to 6 over 6 there. Okay, and I want you to do number 8 by yourself. Notice that we're focusing on between 0 and 1. You're counting spaces, not lines. Okay, so you're going to have a lot of parts there, aren't you? And then however many parts you have, you're going to write that right here. And then you're going to have to label really teeny tiny, right? Because they're really small parts. All right, so do that one on your own. We are going to skip this part because we've done quite a bit of this. Okay, but I do want you to do this next section. Okay, it says write the fraction or the mixed number for each letter. This is just like what we did on the other page. You'll notice that there are letters on the number line. So if I'm looking for A, I'm going to go up and I see A right here. Okay, and what is the fraction for A? We already wrote it in there, didn't we? 1 over 3. Okay, now let's go to B because we didn't label all of these, so you're going to need to figure them out. So B. All right, I see B right here. Okay. Well, I know that this one was 3 over 3, so that must mean this one is 4 over 3 and 5 out of 3. So we had to kind of keep counting to figure out B, didn't we? So 5 out of 3. Okay, so you might want to, and then I see for C, C is right here. Okay. So I'm going to keep counting 6 over 3, 7 over 3, 8 over 3, and keep counting till you figure it out. Okay. All right. I think you guys will be good at those. It's just more counting up. Okay. So let's do F together. Let's look at F. Okay. And F is find F up on our picture up here. I see F right here. So these were the ones where it was 0 over 6, 1 over 6, 2 over 6, and then you guys kept counting. So I'm going to have to keep counting until I get to letter F. Okay, well, I know that 6 over 6 was here, right? Hopefully you did that when you, and so if I keep counting, 7 over 6, 8 over 6, 9 over 6, 10 over 6, that's E, isn't it? 11, 12, right? Keep counting. 13 over 6, 14 over 6. This is 15 over 6. I'm getting close. You don't have to number them all, but just don't lose track. So then 16 over 6, 17 over 6, 18 over 6, 19 over 6, 20 over 6 when I got to F, right? All right. So finish up those. It's just really counting, guys, right? And I think you'll figure it out as you go. We are not going to do that bottom section, okay? And at the beginning of the video, guys, I talked about that we would do the front side of 7-2, but I actually changed my mind on that because I think you have plenty to do for today. So ignore that part from the beginning of the video and just do 335 and 336. Thanks, guys.